what you envisioned out of that offense when you hired North?
Yes. I really appreciate the things that we saw today. I thought they did some really good things. Coach really, gave Cam some options, some opportunities, and Cam made some great decisions. Christian ran hard, played well. Liked the way Coach mixed up the different personnel groupings. I thought that was outstanding and really used them to our advantage, and it showed. The bringing CJ in and running what we call 21 pony and with all the shifts and motions and movements led to some plays. So, yeah, David, to answer your question, yes, that's what we envision.
Ron, to produce 4 picks today, 5 in the first 3 games, half as many as last season, is that the turnaround that you anticipated after Atlanta last week?
Yes. Really pleased with what Eric and the staff came up with. I thought they did a great job game planning and then implementing the plan. I know it was a little shaky at first when they came out, but they did some things. And then on the sideline, I thought Eric and the coaches made some real good adjustments and decisions. We gave up a couple of chunk passes that we got to go back and look at and get those things corrected. But I thought the pass rush really came up big. F.A. Obata got an opportunity to play and really showed very well for us today, and very pleased with that. Thought Julius made some plays. Captain Munderland came up with a nice play for us on a blitz. So I really liked the team effort that we got from our team.
How much did get the game ball out today, I would imagine?
No, it wasn't hard. It really wasn't. F.A. got one and Dante Jackson got one, just because the young man come back off the injury and getting a couple picks like that. Thought he tackled the way he did too, and then of course F.A. making a couple exciting plays, and that's really cool for him.
How much did Christian's success in the passing game last week kind of set this up in the run?
It may have, Joe, and I think again, his ability to run the ball inside, I think is very. He doesn't get enough credit for it. I thought some of the running plays on the inside were excellent, very well blocked. The old line again did a stellar job. I know we gave up a scary sack, but other than that, I thought the guys really responded and did a great job for us.
Obviously, much was made about the 14 receptions last week for Christian. But when you come into a game like this, were you seeing anything right away from the Bengals that showed they were kind of trying to counter him as a receiver early, or? Well,
again, that's a question for Coach North. He's calling the game according to his feel and what he sees and the matchups that he's trying to create, stuff like that. So I don't want to try and guess what he's thinking, but. Along those lines, I'd say yes, probably.
Ron, have you ever had a player have that sort of first NFL game like F.A. did today?
I've been around guys that had days like that. There was a Mark Anderson that played for the Bears back in 2006. He had one of those type games, and it's really kind of neat to watch guys get those opportunities and play well. And just like I said, very happy for him.
What went into the decision to make him active after he hadn't been in the first 2 games?
Well, what we've been doing, we've been watching the young guys practice, and Eric and I talked about it, and we felt that we were going to tell these young guys that whoever we feel strongly about their practice habits, we're going to get opportunities. Last week I thought Marquise out-practiced everybody, and then this week I thought F.A. practiced very well, and Eric and I talked about it, and so we activated F.A. But we also had an extra spot because of the injuries, and so we also activated Brian Cox, who had a good week, and Marquise had a good week as well. But again, just looking, I just felt that F.A. deserved the opportunity.
Ron, Golden did not play a whole lot defensively till late in the game.
Right.
What was the deal with him?
Well, again, when we knew the ball was going to get up in the air. I mean, Colin's a very physical player, downhill player. And Golden's got some, athleticism, some range. So we decided down the stretch, give Golden some opportunities.
Devin had that drop early across the middle, but then responded nicely after that.
Without a doubt, and that's the beauty of it. Cam's developing a rapport with his receivers, and he'll come right back to those guys because they've run their routes hard. They understand what it takes and make plays. And just really pleased with some of the effort that we got from our receiving corps. I mean, that those guys did some really good things and made some plays when we needed them, especially down the stretch.
Ron, on some of these big running gains that Christian had, obviously a team effort there. What are the specific things that you see come together when a successful chunk play is?
Well, I think it's all about the timing of the blocking up front. Again, if the blocking is on time and where it needs to be, you can get those creases and they open. It's trusting them that they're going to be there. If for whatever reason you miss a block or you're late getting to it, that crease will close and it gets stymied. It happened a couple of times, but when he hit those creases, there was some really good blocking up front. Very pleased with, again, like I said, the effort. And not just that, but there's blocking downfield. For the ball to pop, that means second-level guys are making their blocks, tight ends and wide receivers. So that's a big part of what we're doing, too. You know, the wide receivers are doing a heck of a job blocking for us.
You saw Ryan Khalil sprint downfield like a much younger man.
Oh, yeah. When he's probably one of the most athletic centers I've been around. To see him get around the corner and run the way he does, it's pretty impressive.
Ron, just 3 weeks in, but what can a win provide heading into a bye week this early on in the season?
Makes life a lot easier, that's for sure. It could provide some momentum. I really do. I really think it can, and I really appreciate the way the guys, took last week and practiced last week and prepared themselves for this game. There's been a lot of tough things that have gone on, here in the Carolinas, and I just really appreciate the way they focused. And it was kind of a nice deal for our guys to go and break, with a win.
Ron, what do you feel you need to address with this team in the red zone?
Well, again, we're playing against some pretty good offenses, and that's the truth of the matter. I mean, Atlanta's a heck of an offense, did a nice job. Unfortunately, we came out on the losing end last week, but this week I thought our guys played hard and fought, but we give up a couple of plays. That's going to happen. I mean, and I'm just going to be honest about that when you watch it on tape. Now, there are some things that we most certainly do got to look at. And I know we've got about 6 days as coaches to take a look at it and kind of come up with some ideas.
Luke had to be treated for cramps. Was it kind of sneaky hot out there today?
Oh yeah, it was sneaky humid, and the way Luke plays, he leaves it all out on the field. So, we had to we had to treat him and get him taken care of, and he came back and finished the game up for us. And David Mayo played the Mike linebacker for us, and that was really good to have a young man like that in position, ready to roll.
It seemed like after those big plays by FA that the defense was so excited. They were running out on the field to greet him. Is that what it was like on the sidelines?
Absolutely. And whether it was FA making a play or we got the interceptions from D-Jack and stuff like that. I mean, when guys make plays, to see the infectious attitude of just excitement, I mean, I think that's a big part of team football.
With the bye week so early and you see the offense improving every single week now through the first 3 weeks, what do you do in a bye week this early now with the offense continuing to click, and how do you keep it improving with the week off?
Well, the truth of the matter is just practice. That's all we can do. We'll practice and get these guys away from football for a few days and let them relax, and then bring them back, and we'll practice smartly next week in terms of preparation for our next opponent.
Ron, how do you feel about
you said 21 ponies. I'm wondering if you could break that down a little bit.
Well, it's just the idea of having two running backs in at the same time with a tight end and two wide receivers. And again, it gives us options, whether we hand the ball to CJ or we give it to Christian or Cam throws it to one of those two guys, throws it to, the tight end or wide receivers. It just gives us an opportunity to put a guy in a position out there that they have to account for him.
Ron, what about Ian Thomas? It looked like he actually was open quite a bit today, and it seems like he's pretty comfortable out there.
He's getting more and more comfortable, and Cam's getting more and more comfortable with him. So I'm pretty excited about his development. It's one of those things that we know that when we get Greg back out there with Ian and Chris, I think our tight end group can be pretty formidable. Great. Cool. Thank you, guys.